on now. But I don't know if it's on in there. You never know which way it is. Hold on. Sorry, wrong one. Oh, this way. Do you want me to do more here? Okay. Oh.
Went. I'll get us the book pamphlet.
Hi, Sherman. Good to see you.
Start in like another minute.
Oh yeah, we still got some stragglers.
Should
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
We're going to start off tonight with a nigun, a wordless melody, to get us into the mood for Shabbat. The great part about niguns is you don't need to look at anything. You can just join in the music, because it's all yai lai lai, yai nai nai. Choose the consonant of your choosing and add an I after it. And then you're good to go. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la, yai la, yai la 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 la. Yai la, yai la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la, yai la, yai la 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 la. Yai la, la la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Rabbi Daniel Friedman, and I'm honored to be with you again here on my third week at Temple Akiva. And I'm joined here by actually our new director of music here at Temple Akiva, and I'll let him introduce himself.
I am Michael Rothbard. For those who haven't met me yet, I've been the song leader in the religious school the past year, and now I am the inaugural music director of Temple Akiva. So in addition to, thank you. So in addition to my song leading duties on Sunday mornings, I will also be directing all the choirs for the high holidays and other musical services and aspects of the temple throughout the year. So I'm glad to be here in a new capacity.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have him. So 2 new people up here leading. Hopefully that will be able to guide you the way you need to be guided tonight. And I also just want to say how, it was so beautiful being in there with all of you just now, getting to see, again, some familiar faces that I've already seen over the past couple of weeks, seeing some faces I haven't seen since my time as an intern here, and meeting some more new faces tonight. It's really lovely, and it feels really good to all be together. So before we go into our song that sings about being together, Hine Ma Tov, just a quick word of welcome of our new pamphlet. It is a little bit different than you might expect. It starts on page 1 in the front, but once you open it, page 2 is on the left, 3 is on the right, and then 4 is actually on the right, and 5 is on the left, and then 6. So it's not a pattern that you can remember, but just know that all 6 pages are present. Michael has it now, so he's ready.
Yeah.
We're here together now. Even if you can't find it on here, I bet you can join us and sing along Hine Ma Tov, which is on page 1.
Hine Ma Tov u'manayim Shevet achim gam yachad Hine Ma Tov u'manayim Shevet achim gam yachad Hine Ma Tov u'manayim בנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
I'd now like to welcome up one of the co-presidents of our sisterhood here at Temple Akiba, Karen Marcus, who helped to set up this lovely event beforehand. She's gonna help us with lighting our Shabbat candles, and we are still on page 1.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Invite you all now to please rise for Kiddush. I'll let you hold that. Still on page 1.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'rasavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher etziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. Chaim. Yasher Koach. Thank you so much, Karen. You can all be seated. So actually, what I'd like to do before we enter into our Lechadodi, which is the prayer, and we talked a little bit about this last week for anyone that was here, but it's the prayer that welcomes in the Shabbat bride. That's what we give sort of an identity almost to Shabbat, and we actually formally welcome Shabbat in when we rise at the end of Lechadodi and eventually bow down in sort of respect and reverence of there being this presence of Shabbat among us. But before we do that, then, before we welcome in Shabbat, I want you to welcome each other in. So please find someone that you know and someone you don't know and say a quick hello, and then we'll say hello to the Shabbat bride. All right, so finish up that last few sentences that you're on, and then we're going to get ready to welcome in our Shabbat presence. All right, wow. This time last week, it was sort of a mechitza. This side was really talkative, and this side was really talkative, and this side wasn't. But today it was nice and spread out, which I loved. So much energy, and that's exactly what we want when we bring in Shabbat. We want to bring up the energy, bring up the joy, and I think we're ready to do that now. So please join me on page 2, Lechadodi. We'll do verses 1, 5, and 9, and when we get to the third verse, we'll all rise and face the entrance together.
Yalla la la lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela, yalla la la lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ki yishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo Shemo tiferet litila Yai lai lai Yala la 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 lechadodi Yai lai lai Yala la 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 likrat kala Yala la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'sohola toch emunei am segula Boi chala, boi chala. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 lechat dodi. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekah bela. Ya la 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 lechat dodi. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekah bela.
You may be seated. One of my favorite activities that I have been doing for the last several years now is taking my dog Rexy on a walk. Rexy, for those of you that do not know, is a 4-year-old terrier mix with a big personality. It's great bonding time. Plus, it forces me out of the house even when I don't feel like leaving. In fact, when we rescued Rexy in October of 2020, walking truly became a blessing in more ways than one. It was easy to sit on the computer for hours straight, zooming, without even moving. The thing that frustrated me, though, about my walks with Rexy, at least at the beginning, were that he likes to stop and sniff different patches of grass, flowers, remnants that are left on the road, really all kinds of things. Sometimes he leads me off the path completely. Often I only have a set amount of time to go on these walks, but Rexy has other plans and is usually very persistent about pursuing them. Since the early days, I have learned to appreciate Rexy's curiosity about the world around us. And I, too, have benefited. I have noticed things that I would not normally have seen, that I would have walked right past had it not been for Rexy. Animals have a profound wisdom to share with us as humans, truly about the world. And I think our Torah portion this week is evidence of that. In Parshat Balak, found in the book of Numbers, we get the second of only 2 instances of animals speaking. Bilam, who is a non-Israelite, has been tasked by Balak, the king of Moab, to curse the Israelites. As Bilam departs with the Moabites on his donkey, the donkey sees a messenger of God and swerves off the road into the field. Bilam is furious and beats his donkey. The messenger of God then repositions themselves in a lane between the vineyards, which causes the donkey to respond by pushing herself and Bilam against the wall, as if to try and stay away from the messenger of God. Something could be dangerous. Once again, Bilam is angry and beats the donkey. Finally, the messenger of God repositions themselves, so now the path is so narrow, there's no room to do anything, no room to swerve out of the way. When the donkey sees the messenger of God this time, she stops and lays down completely. Bilam is besides himself and beats the donkey with a stick. Then Adonai opens the donkey's mouth, and she says to Bilam, "What have I done to you that you've beaten me 3 times?" Bilam said to the donkey, "You've made a mockery of me. If I had a sword with me, I'd kill you." The donkey said to Bilam, "Look, I am the donkey that you have been riding all day long, all the many years of your life. Have I ever been in the habit of doing that to you?" And Bilam answered, No. Only then does God open the eyes of Bilam, who realizes there is a messenger of God right before him. Was there the whole time, as we know. And Bilam, when he realizes that Adonai is there, he says, Chatati, I have made a mistake because I did not know that you were standing right here in the way. If you disapprove of me going forward, I will turn back. The contrast that we see here between a human and an animal is actually significant. While animals are naturally perceptive, as humans, we often are programmed to keep our eyes shut, to stay on the path that we are accustomed to traveling on. The Torah exemplifies how we make fools of ourselves by missing out on all that lies around us. While a talking donkey might seem utterly ridiculous, it draws attention to something important. Somehow a donkey is able to notice this messenger of God, and the human, Bilam, is not. There's a human in the Torah, however, who stands out for acting differently when approached by a messenger of God. In Exodus, you might recall that we read, when God saw Moses had turned aside to look at the bush that burned, but was not consumed, only then, remember that similarity, only then, once some recognition is finally made, but this time it was earlier on, does God make God self-known and call out, Moses, Moses, to which Moses responds, Hineni, here I am. Without this moment of Moses stopping to be present, to stray from the path he was on, the story of the Jewish people would never have been the same. Perhaps we would not have been freed from Egypt. Now, fast forward many centuries in our generations. Following Moses, there's another important figure who, in our tradition, does also turn his head and looks at things anew. That person has the namesake of our congregation, Temple Akiba, Rabbi Akiva. It is taught in the Talmud Menachot that when Moses ascended on high, he found the Holy One, blessed be God, sitting and tying crowns at the tops of all of the letters in the Torah. And Moses said before God, Master of the universe, who is preventing you from giving the Torah without these very, very strange additions? God said to him, there is a man who is destined to be born after several generations, and Akiva ben Yosef is his name. He is the one destined to derive from each and every thorn of these crowns mounds and mounds of halachot. In other words, Rabbi Akiva, along with other sages, had the ability to open their eyes to words of Torah, which they knew what they knew very well, but they were able to draw new pathways of living Jewishly, what we refer to now in the Hebrew as the halachot, the ways of being Jewish. In fact, it is by this method which Judaism continues to progress and grow in every generation, including ours today. We have to open our eyes, ready to step off our well-traveled path and see inspiration and possibilities where they might exist, but we might be missing them. Over the past several weeks in this job, I have learned that this position here at Temple Akiba, this rabbi and educator position, was actually the result of important leadership here acting more like Moses and Rabbi Akiva rather than Bilam. It meant stopping for a moment to think about the way that this temple was accustomed to running, and to look around and to see if there might be other ways to move forward, other ideas to contemplate and address. My new unofficial title has become known as the first ever second rabbi at Temple Akiba. But in all seriousness, with this new role, I want to strive to be one who follows this wisdom that we learn in our Torah portion, to be perceptive. I can only imagine the voices I will hear, the people I will see, when I stop and just open my eyes. The more perceptive myself, and not only myself, but the rest of the leadership, both professional and the lay leadership here, stop to be ready to open their eyes, to listen to what people have to say, to see what the rest of the environment, how they're responding to Judaism today and to the world. This is what takes a strong synagogue like Temple Akiba and will help us to innovate into the future. And I know that even in saying this and reading this beautiful wisdom, it's not always easy to do so. I wonder how many of you have your own Rexy story. Is there a time where at first you might have been resistant or perhaps unable to step off your usual derech, your usual path, and see something new that you were easily missing? Think about that for a second. You may not have a dog or a talking donkey. However, we all have something as the Jewish people which we are very, very blessed to have. And it's this holy day, Shabbat, which now has just begun as we've lit our candles and we've said L'chad Odi. So today, as we move into Shabbat, let's take advantage of these next 25 hours to be a little less rushed than we normally are. Instead, to slow down, to see something new that we might have otherwise closed our eyes to. In doing so, we may become attuned to new opportunities, new growth, and new blessings. Shabbat Shalom. And now we're going to officially bring our call to worship together with our evening service. We're going to invite you all to rise and turn to page 2 for the Baruch Hu.
Roll into dark, roll into into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, bechoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
That song which we just sang is partially, it's an interpretation of one of our most important evening prayers, Ma'ariv Aravim, the prayer that recalls this transition between day and night. And it also can recall other transitions in our life. And since we're going through this transition, I mean, Michael and I are joining you all, I figured it was appropriate to read this other reading based on Ma'ariv Aravim. And together we'll say the end if you know it, or just you can say Amen if you don't. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain, on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies beyond us? Shall we draw back or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'ariv aravim. We continue now with our Shema on page 2. Invite you to rise if it is your custom to do so, and do whatever it is that you need to concentrate on all that is connected, all of us, the divine.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu
Adonai Echad. Continue with Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושינמתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. So I now, for the next two prayers, want to invite up a special guest to join us. This happens to be my wife. Her name is Leora, but she is also a rabbi. So she goes by Rabbi Leora Albin in her community. Here, you can call her a variety of names, whatever feels comfortable. But she's here as a part of this community, and I thought this would be a great way for you to be introduced to her as well. And I'm going to turn it over to her.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. In just a moment, we are going to pray. First, we're going to do Micha Mocha, which is our song of freedom, where we celebrate crossing, kind of getting to that moment where just, there's this big, giant unknown in front of us, and then crossing through the Red Sea and celebrating our freedom. And then right after that, we're going to go into more of a peaceful, quiet moment of our service, which is Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is all about, facing another unknown, this time not the desert in front of us, but instead facing the unknown of the darkness. What is so special about being here is that we're in the outside. We get to look up, and through the coverings above us, we see the light fading away slowly and turning into night. And if you think about in the times when our liturgy was being written, the dark was really, really scary, right? They didn't have these very lovely light bulbs. They didn't have the technology that we have that allows us to know exactly what's going to happen, exactly how many hours it's going to be until the sun comes back up. So when we sing Hashkiveni, we're really praying for comfort. We are really praying for peace. And we're really praying for a sense of feeling safe, for safety. Now, Temple Akiba has really been such a special community to myself and to your rabbi, Daniel Friedman, for years, right? Daniel was an intern here while we were still in school, before we were married. And I know that it's already a place of comfort for him because he feels so special about all of you and so close to all of you. But as we're praying this Hashkivenu, I'm really thinking about the years ahead. May this community be one of safety, one of comfort for him and for our family, including our dog Rexy. And may he too provide all of you with a sense of walking along a path with someone who cares deeply about all of you, because as you already know, that is the type of person that your new rabbi is, someone who really wants to be here for this community and to be here with all of you. providing that comfort, that safety as we go into the unknown of whatever our futures, whatever this world may bring in the coming years. So we'll start with Micha Mocha, and then we'll go right into Hashkivenu, and both of those are on page 3.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, Adonai yimloch leolam ba'el. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'ameru, ze Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch leolam ba'ed. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la ya 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 la la. Adonai. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom. Ve'ha'amidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Just your voices. Amen. 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 Amen.
Okay. We're gonna continue now with our Amidah, our prayer that sort of we come to at the peak of every service, giving us a moment both to pray together and to pray alone and reflect and be at one with ourselves and with all of that is greater than us. At this time, I invite you to rise, and we are on page 4. We'll continue through the Kedusha on page 5 together, and then you can take a moment of silence and be seated when you're finished.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo ve'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir hasurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech meimit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Take a moment of silence. We take that strength now that we built with our Amidah prayer, and we turn towards those who are in need of some healing. So we'll take a moment at the middle of of our Misha Barak to acknowledge all of those names, those who are in need of healing, and bring them into our community's prayer and awareness. We are on page 5.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Now I'd like to welcome up our board trustee, Helene Jaffa, who also happened to be the co-chair of the selection committee that helped to bring me here. So lots of reasons to invite Helene up.
Um, 2 weeks ago, I spoke much too much in trying to explain why and how much we love Rabbi Daniel Friedman. I'll just repeat today that we love him and we are glad that we functioned as a committee and that he accepted our offer. We were glad of that. Well, it's kind of special today to recognize how he fills this role of second rabbi. Our first rabbi, whom I hope we have for a very, very long time, brings his spouse, and we always love hearing from him and hearing his voice. And today we had the pleasure of meeting Rabbi Altman. And although I cheat and call him Daniel, I think I will always call you Rabbi Altman. Because I met you as a full rabbi. So I want to thank Rabbi, our music director, for giving us a beautiful service tonight. I want to thank Sisterhood for preparing a treat before and also a treat after tonight. I want to greet everyone who's here on behalf of the board, in addition to greeting Rabbi Altman, who's not here the first time. She's been here many times while Rabbi was an intern. And I'd like to know if anyone is here for the first time. Will you tell us your names, please? And we'd like to let everyone give you a special greeting. Adam?
And you're visiting from New Jersey?
Yes. They are related to our Sisterhood co-president, whom I also should be thanking for doing our Kiddush and candles. And you are? Nice to meet you, Julie. Okay. Then there are all the announcements. There are the ones that are coming up that are just pure fun. Klezmer concert first, and after that, August 3rd, we pretend to be kids and have a camp service for grown-ups. Then in addition, we have a donor recognition meeting gathering on August 2nd, and choir open house with special time to learn about it and to enjoy learning about it from
Yes.
You use Michael Rothblatt.
Yeah, I'm not a cantor, so.
I know
yes,
you're
yes.
not a cantor, but you deserve a title. You're a music director Rothblatt.
Well, my students call me Mr. Rothbard, but you don't have to call me that.
And finally, I'd like to say that the summer donation drive is important. The homeless are out in the sun much too much, and although sunscreen is expensive, if you can, please donate. Thank you for listening to me. I see.
Thank you so much, Helene, for not just, we always get something a little extra with Helene, not just the announcements, but there's always something special to be found. You just have to look, right? So we're gonna begin to conclude our service now, beginning with Aleinu, and Aleinu is found on page 6. I invite you to rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kugei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ
Bayom hahu, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved their memories. They keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. So at this time of memory, here at Temple Akiba, we are in a period of Shloshim. Okay. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days after the burial of a loved one, for the following people: Kay Golub, Ed Sondik. If there is anyone else who is remembering somebody in that Shloshim period and you'd like to say their name, I invite you to do so at this time. You can kind of move your hand if you have somebody. Any other Shloshim? Okay, so we're going to move on to yard sites now. The year anniversary of the death of a loved one. And today at Temple Akiba, we are remembering the following who have yard site plaques in the Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room: Irving Aronson, Newton D. Andron, Solomon Berman, Reba Byrne, Janet Friedman, Irving Herman, Dorothy Hudson, May R. Levitt, Francis Lewin, Esther Rose Luber, Jean Pevsner, Rose Samow, Morton Saperstein, Saul J. Waldman. We're also remembering the following yard sites this week at Temple Akiba: Esther Abraham, Lena Baum, Faye Blum, Clara Bogash, Esther Dubin, Tyler Edson, Ida Feingold, Rabbi Levi Galprin, Jerome Glazov, Yetta Goldberg, Ada Goldberg Green, Tanya Hyman, Rabbi Sidney Jacobs, Jack Candle, Rose Katz, Mildred Kaufman Common, Sylvan Cluins, Charles Kraus, Minnie Lasky, Herbert Lees, Frank Lewin, Daniel Marcus, Jenny Marmon, Robert Michaels, Carolyn Oshmansk, Germano Rosenberg, Jerry Seligman, Jackson Senator, Beverly Schumann, Harry Silverman, Elliot Silverstein, Lori Spielberg, Elliot Sturman, Ephraim Violin, Harry Wagner, Herbert Weiner. If there are other yard sites that you are here remembering and would like to share the name of somebody, I invite you to do so at this time. So we'll now all rise as one community, supporting the mourners and also rising to say Kaddish for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, those who died in the Holocaust, and people who perhaps belong to an LGBTQ plus community and their family is no longer willing to say Kaddish for them. We say our Kaddish together. We are on page 6. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma tivarach chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kavri ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who are mourning, to all who are bereaved. And once more we say, amen. Go ahead and take one final seat. I do want to just, on behalf of myself, just say thank you to all of those that helped to plan the special gathering beforehand to make this a special welcoming service for me, and also for my wife who's here, who now you know, Rabbi Leora Albin, her parents, my in-laws are also here, Judy and Arnold, and I'm just really grateful to be a part of this community once again, and to be here for a longer time. Get to really dig my feet in. So, and if there's also this thing that will happen in December for those that want to return, called an installation, which is a very funny word to say for a rabbi. I'm not a piece of art. I mean, although I do think that I like to think in some ways I am, but we do this thing called an installation when a rabbi comes to a new community. So that will be happening I think on December 13th. So feel free to come back and join in a more even yes. I mean, I do hope that you'll join us before December. Thank you. Our president especially wants you to know that.
Especially the early October area.
Oh,
probably, yes.
yeah. I hear there's some big holidays happening at the beginning of October, so maybe we'll see you then.
Yeah.
But thanks again. And I'm really excited to see that Michael chose the Nava Tehillah Oseh Shalom. I love the Nava Tehillah music, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
You're very welcome. And interesting, when I've been looking at this this service that we use for our outdoor non-sanctuary services, it reminds me of like a menu restaurant, and in a way, except out of order, but in a way the service is kind of like a menu. You know, we have the Psalms and the Kabbalat Shabbats are appetizers and hors d'oeuvres. Once you hit the Baruch Hu, it's like the dinner is served. Fire up the grill, and then
well, next time I'll just we won't talk ahead of time. I'll just order right when we get here. Will that work for you?
And you have plenty of options to choose from in here too, which is great. And you know, I guess there's lots of different prayers as like tapas a little bit, you know, little pieces to choose from. And now we're kind of in the dessert section, the concluding prayers. Some are more of a bitter flavor, and some are just very sweet. And this is a very sweet, creme brulee Oseh Shalom. So. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru v'imru amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh say shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru v'imru amen. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ve'imru v'imru amen. Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's say our motzi so we can then move into the desserts you can actually eat. Hey, Mara, would you like to come and help hold the challah? No? You don't want? Okay, are you sure? You want to hold it in your seat?
There you go.
All right, let's say we're going to sing Hamotzi together. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Te'avon. Take a piece, Smart. All right. That means we can all go eat some now. Thank you all so much again for being here. Thanks to those that joined us online, and Shabbat Shalom.